So I should welcome everyone. So good morning for this webinar today, which will be about the management of your technical assistance project in BoondManager. So obviously, I've got my dream team with me today. I've got Estelle and Charlie, so I'm sure that you know them, two great Boond coaches. But today, Estelle will not be a Boond coach. She will be a sales administrator for this webinar, and Charlie, she will be a business manager. On my part, I will be doing some behind the stage things, so just ignore me. So today's agenda will be divided in 4 main parts. So first, we will see the project creation. And after that, we will see how we can follow up on the existing project in BoondManager. Then a third part about the building of the project. And finally, the analysis of those projects. Obviously, as I said at the very end of the webinar, we'll have the questions and answers time. Okay, as usual, we have some prerequisites to make sure that this webinar goes well and that everything's ready. So what we've done is that we have the appropriate settings on the platform. We also have sufficient rights and permissions for us to be able to do everything. We have created and qualified projects and deliveries. We have declared and validated sometimes and expenses. And finally, we have some purchase orders created on the environment. All right, okay, so now let's not wait anymore and let's get ready. First part, project creation. Charlie and Estelle, over to you.
Thank you. Okay, best way to start the day, usually as we all do, is to check my emails. And I actually have an email from one of my clients. Let's see what's going on. And great. He said that he gave me the go for my last offer. So we officially are in business. I got the start dates, the price, and he gave me the purchase order already. So that's cool. I can keep that on the side because I will need it later on. So what best practice is for me to go to Boond, of course, to update my opportunities. So let's go to the opportunity modules. And because I was keeping a tight look on my opportunities, it's on the first column, warms for the product owner. Let's get inside. What I need to do, it's pretty simple. I simply need to change the states. So on the right side, from warm to 1, and it will automatically create the project as long as the chosen consultant is already a resource, which is the case in the client pick Adrian. My final steps, of course, is to save. That's done. It's changed the modules for the project. So now I'm all set. I think it will be good to let Estelle know, our sales administrators, that I won an opportunities, and I can do that by using a thread. And maybe it could be good as well if she helped me check that everything is in order in my project. And now I wait.
That's great. I just received a notification using the bell icon, and then I can open it. And I can see that Charlie won a project, and so she needs help. Hi, Charlie. That's a great.
Hello, Estelle.
Let's have a look on your project.
Mm-hmm.
This is really important that all the information you received is correctly input in the system. So we have a look on the delivery tab to check this all. Go into the delivery and maybe you have all the information is correct or not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Estelle. I don't want to be yelled at, but the client makes some changes. So the information here are not corrected. I forgot to update my opportunity before. Can I do it now, please?
Sure, of course.
Perfect. So from what was written in the email, it will be now starting on the 5th of June.
Mm-hmm.
And because there were some, bargains going on and they're requesting for a discount, then my price now is $490 instead of $510. It was very hard to win this opportunity. And that's it. Supposedly, I think we would be working with them until the end of the year. So should I keep it like that, or do I need to change anything?
Really depends of what's all the information are on the orders. Actually, can you open it? Because the delivery must be exactly as the order, because it's my billings, depends on it.
Oh, so it's actually until the end of August.
This is an order just for a quarter. So we're going to change the ending date of the delivery on your
Okay.
Okay.
So end of August.
31st of August. You're going to change as well the number of days sold.
Okay, because it's roughly about 60, so I need to make sure that the occupation rate would be good. Okay.
Just register it. Go back to your project. Okay. And then, because you said that it's going through the end of the year, so you can select it and select the delivery, create a renewal.
Okay.
Starting from the 1st of September, and then going to change the ending date for the 31st of December.
Okay.
Modify the number of days sold. Okay.
So
and
roughly about 75.
This is not sure yet. So change the states for provisional forecasts. And as you can see, the type of the delivery is already in renewal. So
okay, perfect.
you can register this delivery, go back to your project. Now you do have a project from the 5th of June till the end of the year. But it's
okay, perfect.
Different deliveries. Now we're gonna register, input the orders for the first delivery.
Okay.
The deliveries and create orders. That's really simple. And do you have the reference?
Yeah, I do. Let me write it down.
Okay. Great. You can have a look and check all the details that we have on the order. This is really, really important for me. So the billing methods and all the details that you have.
The net 30 days was written on the purchase orders, and I ticked the box as well because I received the official documents, so that's why I'm good. I was wondering, so because my client, it was really adamant about the timesheets being signed and being sent with the bills. Can we do that easily?
Really easy to settle it. Look, you have 3 little things that you have to pick. Because you can follow up the timesheet, you can block the invoice, okay? And then when I will send the invoice, the timesheet signed will be attached to my email, okay? So because you want all this information, just have to pick up the 3 lines and register it. So when you want a project, just be sure that all the information are correct, because I need this for my billing later on.
Okay.
And that's it for me. Your project is well qualified.
And now I see that I have an order attached to my delivery as well, because the check is at the end of the line. So all good. Thanks for the help, Estelle.
You're welcome, Charlie.
All right, thank you so much, Estelle and Charlie, for this first part. So now it's my job to recap the project creation. So what did we talk about here? So first, what Charlie did when she got the email from the client, that she went to the opportunity. And what do we have here? In the opportunity, it's very important to keep in mind that you can, day by day, depending on the evolution, you can update the information that you've got there. It's quite important to do that, because when you actually change the state of the positioning to create your project, we will retrieve all of the information to create the delivery and the project. So if you update the information before, then it will already be correct on the delivery. Sorry. Also, what we saw that we've got the thread feature, which is everywhere in BoondManager. So when you want to actually share something, the fact that you want to share an opportunity, you want to share a project that you just won, what we did to let Estelle know that we needed her help. So use that, because then you don't have to use your mailbox, but directly BoondManager. It's much easier. Then when we actually changed the state of the positioning, so it created the delivery. The delivery is what we have inside the project. So it's the mission, let's say, of the resource. And the delivery is the heart of the project. It's the key element, because it's where you're going to put all of the essential information, like the state. Is it signed, for example, the period, start date, end date, the project rate, number of days sold, and the delivery ADC, which means the cost of the project. And everything here, as Estelle explained, is very important, because will be reused for the bidding. Also, what we can do is that we can create renewals on the project for your forecast, because you know that you will have an upcoming deliveries. Then you can save time for later and also use that in different reporting and analysis of the project. Finally, after creating and qualifying the delivery, we added a purchase order. The purchase order here for this kind of project will always be linked to the delivery, which is also very important. We highlighted the fact that the dates of the delivery need to be correct, start and end dates, because then they will be reused on the purchase order and they need to match. Also, we added obviously a client preference on the purchase order, which will be reused on every invoice generated later on. And then we also used another feature, which is called the signed timesheet feature, for you to easily attach the timesheets of the resource to the bills when you send them to your clients. All right, so now let's go over section 2, which is the project follow-up. Estelle and Charlie, back to you.
Okay, so first, perfect. I will send you the confirmation by email ASAP. Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye. Oh, that was actually an interesting call. While doing mission monitoring, one of my clients told me he was quite happy with the ongoing project and the resource clairvoyance. And now everything is safely registered inside BoondManager attached to the project. And it was super easy to do because I used one of the templates that was already available for the mission monitorings. So very easy and very cool. But now I had a new problems, kind of, because my clients told me that the project was quite much more complex than anticipated, and they've requested a backup, which I can happily provide, but I'm not sure on how to do that in Boond per se, so maybe I should ask Estelle about it. Estelle, can you help me, please? Because I need to add a resource on an ongoing project, but I'm not sure of how to do that. I need help.
With pleasure, Charlie. Let's have a look at on your project and go in your deliveries tab. Okay. Do you know already who is going to work on this project?
Yes, it's Jacques Alexandre actually, because I've checked him already on the resource modules.
Okay, so
how do I create the delivery?
With the plus button that you just have here. And so create a delivery. Select then Alexandre, pick him up, and then create a delivery. And then as the last time, just go into the delivery and qualify your delivery. Do you have all the information that you need?
I should. It will be starting next Monday, so I can change the start dates already. Project will be going until the end of the year, but I'm waiting for his specific PO. Maybe it will be attached to the one that we already have, but I'm still waiting on the details, so I can leave it like that. In terms of a unique of work sales charge, it's actually quite different on this project because this project is per hour, because my clients wanted specifically for my resources to clock by hours and to be charged by hours. So the price would be 60 euros per hour. And it's cool because it's also give me the global cost per days on the right side. And in terms of number of work units, it was 1,100. So roughly about 137 days, if I remember well, for 90% occupation rates. And it's actually quite cool. The type is already a backup, so I can monitor that as well.
There's one thing that you can check as well. It's if Alexandre can put in timesheet in hours. So
you're right.
Just have a look on it. You
better safe than sorry. Cool. So you told me last time that whenever I see a yellow link in Boond, it's a shortcut. So I can go on Alexandre actually resource card, and I can go on the timesheets, and I can try to create the timesheet for May, and that's why it gives me an IDs. I can add a row and pick my website graphic design project and try to fill it. And perfect. So if it was in day, it would be 1 only, but it's show me that it can add 8 units per day. So that's perfect. It's per hour and it's working fine. I'm happy with that.
That's fantastic, Charlie. just thinking, do you use the production plan?
No, I don't think so.
On your left menu, you do have the planning menu module.
Okay.
And then if you go there, you have the production plan. Selecting the right months and the saved research for billable resources.
Okay.
I do love this view because you have a quick view on which resources have delivery, who doesn't have anything, who is coming back in intercontract, or you can have the green line for the provisional deliveries and everything. You can have really a quick view if you have to call your client to ask for a mission, if you have to get your resources back to the office for intercontract, and if everyone has a line to plug the timesheet, actually.
Oh, that's awesome. So I can check that I did the job correctly for Adrian and that the delivery for Alexandre Jacques is already online. And I can monitor some of my resources that will be soon coming to an end. So yeah, that's a great view. And I can check by time period. So yeah, thanks you for the tips. It's quite amazing.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much again, Charlie and Estelle, for the second part for the project follow-up. So now let's do the recap. So what did we see here? So first, when Charlie was actually on the phone with a client, she was doing a mission monitoring. And what did she do to keep track of everything that they talked about on the phone? She created an action on the project, and to be even more efficient, she used an action template for, it's much more efficient, much quicker. So do use them. That will, it's a time saver. Then, when they talked about this, mission monitoring, the client explained that they needed a new delivery, a new backup, a new person working on the project because it was actually more complex than what they thought. So then Charlie, she asked Estelle for help because she wasn't sure how to add a backup on the project. Actually, it's like, the creation of an initial delivery. Nothing is different here, except the delivery type that we, selected correctly. And it was actually even automatic, so we didn't have to do anything. But then there was just something a bit more specific about this project. It's that it's not a project, working per day, but per hour. So if you didn't know that, in BoondManager, you can actually manage your project per hour. When you do this, then you have to make sure that your qualification is well adjusted. So you don't put, the rate per day, but per hour. Then when you put the number of days sold, it's again per hour, per unit, work unit. And at the end, until the very end, so the invoicing, even the invoices will be adapted because then you'll be able to have them per hour and not per day. Then finally, to be able to follow up on your different projects and resources, billable resources, we used the view that we call production plans that will help you identify the ending project and to make sure that every resource, every consultant has a project because we don't want them to be in intercontract. So that's a very, very convenient view. So if you didn't know it, please do use it because you will see that we, again, help you a lot in your day-to-day work. Okay, and now part 3, project billing. Estelle and Charlie, over to you again.
Thank you, Cyril. Charlie,
Yes.
I'll just show you how important is the qualification of the project.
Sure.
Let's have a look on the post-production apps that I've got on my menu. Selecting the right months and using the saved research, actually, I can have a look on all my project of the months. And I can see all the missing elements at once. Like, for example, I've got Rihanna doesn't have any orders, but I know that she's on the same purchase order of Mark. So I'm going to click on the purchase order reference and just add the delivery of Rihanna, actually. I can register this. And when I go back on production plan, I can see that for this project, I don't have any warning anymore. Okay.
Perfect.
Do you remember that we talked about the timesheet sign?
Yes.
That we have to follow up? So you have the red light on the icon saying that we are still waiting for the timesheet to be signed, so I can't generate my invoice for now. Okay. And if I have a look on this screen as well, I can see that we're still waiting for the timesheet to be validated. Is there something that you're waiting for, or something? Can we validate this timesheet or not?
Sorry, that's on me. I didn't check my notification emails since a while. Sorry. We can go on it. Caramel normally has the timesheet that should be good. He has only 2 projects. We can go inside. I see the 2 projects. The timesheet is 100%. He didn't took any time off. And yeah, he also did the survey, so all good. Yeah, I can definitely validate that for you. I'm sorry, it's spotting you late on the schedule.
No problem at all.
And here it is.
You can see that if I go back on post-production for this month, everything is in order for me. So I will do my my billing later on this month. But if you're interested, I can show you how to generate one invoice, for example.
Yes, please. That would be cool.
Okay. Because I do have all the information, the purchase order and the consumption, I can generate my invoice on this icon. Go on the pro forma invoice list, and as you can see on my menu, I'm not in post-production anymore. I'm in the billing module. Okay. I can open my invoice, just check and adjust my billing if needed. Have a look on all the information and check, change the state of the billing for creation to get my invoice reference.
Okay.
Okay, and then everything is in order for me to send my invoice to the client. So you can see that this is really, really fast and quick and easy for me if all the information of the projects is correctly input in the system.
Thanks for showing me. I'll make sure to keep an eye on my notification next time.
I'm sure about that. All right, okay, so now let's recap this part 3, project billing. So here in this part, we have a very, very big star. So not Estelle, not Charlie's time, but it's post-production. We love to speak about the application because it's essential to know it and then to use it. Post-production, first here, as we saw, is an application that will help you control that all of the elements which are necessary for billing are present. So what are the main elements that we can check with post-production? They are your times and expenses, that they have been input and validated, that obviously there is a purchase order for each project, and that the purchase order is linked to a delivery, and then that there is a production turnover to bid, because if there is nothing to bid, then obviously, there is nothing to do here. Then thanks to post-production here still, we can mass generate the invoice. So actually we could decide, as Estelle explained, a bit later on in the month, to generate all of them at the same time, or, because depending on the way that you need to do things, you can also just decide to generate one invoice, or you could also do that per client or project type, depending on the filter that you want to apply. When the invoices will be generated, that will be pro forma, which means that then you will need to go to the billing module to do your final verification. So if you need to do adjustments, then you can do that directly on the invoices. And then you will be able to change the state just for one invoice, or you can also mass change the state of the different invoices. And that will trigger actually the creation of the reference for your invoices to be ready to be sent to your clients. Okay, and now so we come to the final part of this webinar, which is the project analysis.
Hey, Estelle, the other day you've asked me which reporting I kept an eye on my project, and I can show you that now if you have time.
Oh, I do. My lunch is in only 30 minutes. So
Awesome. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is monitor my project one by one. So for that, I go inside the project modules, and as an example, I can use the website graphic design. So inside the project, we have already been together on the deliveries, but the one that matters right now, it would be consumption and billings. Consumptions, as the name said, it's the perfect tabs to have a global overview of what is going on with anything related to the timesheets of the different resources. These views allow me to make a comparison between what was signed and what is actually produced, meaning what my resources are clocking, and I can have the global turnover and cost and merging for anything related to productions. But what I love about this view that I can also check that by resource, so with the 2 line at the bottoms, and that give me an idea of, okay, am I running actually late? Do I maybe need to intervene because we're clocking too much at the moment? Is anything going wrong? Does my resource also sign up for a little bit too much of expenses? Because that can happen sometimes linked to the project, and that's it. Another tab that is interesting would be billings. I know it's your realm, but sometimes I like to come here to check a few things, because here you have a very good global overview at T time, so time T, specifically at the moment, what's going on with the project, with the kind of 4 type of indicators that you can find in Boons: signed, so linked to the delivery, original deliveries; ordered, linked to the PO that have been attached to Boons; and then produce, meaning the timesheets; and charge, meaning what was billed. And for me, it's a good way to make sure that everything is running smoothly and that I'm not losing money anywhere.
Okay. I'm using this tab as well to check the state of billing of specific projects sometimes too. For example, the human still in transmitting to the client, for example. And as well, I'm having a look on the orders, the order turnover, and the charge turnover, to check the delta and the difference. Actually, this is quite important for me before generate my invoices as well.
And that's how you know that maybe we're coming to the end of an order that we're going over and that we need to request for a new one. Okay, I get it. But as you see, these 2 views, while they are amazing, they are also limited by the fact that they are only linked to the moment I'm looking at it. And also that I cannot pick the indicators. So for that, I will go to the reportings modules, and specifically the project under view. And here, so I already have a safe search that I create for myself called ongoing project for Charlie. But it's something I created by using the filter at the top. So as you can see at the moment, I have already 2 type of project select. So everything linked to delegation of skills, because that's my area. I would also be able to change the periods. So if I go to this filter, it's allow me to change the period types. Here I am monitoring in months, but that will also helping me to monitor by quarter or to do my annual reportings at the end of the year. So that's something that you can't do with the other views that I showed you. And of course, because I was working on my project, everything is linked to my own perimeter. But if one day, I cross my finger, I get to be the manager of a team, I would be able to also monitor everybody's perimeter from here, depending on my access. So all clear. Next would be organizing the view. You already have a default one in the reportings, but maybe I wanted some specifics. So I've created my very own view in the systems, and everything that I do is only personal. So I can go and click on the cogwheels at the top and click on the project. And here I have 2 columns. The left one is all the available indicators that I don't use at the moment. So I'm able to browse, and I could be adding any of them that I think would be missing to my view. The one on the column on the right side is everything that is actually displayed. And as it's really easy, I can delete the one that I don't want in my view. And I can also change the order and organize it using delimiters. Perfect. Now that everything is set up, I can go back to my reportings, and I won't saved my changed. I don't want to mess my view. And here, the view that I've created to monitor my project is in, let's say, 5 or 6 parts. First one is I mean, it's the obvious one. It's the name of the client, the reference, and the start and end dates, of course. Afterwards, I've recreated a panels to monitor everything linked to the delivery. So that way I can have a quick view of what I signed originally and the cost that was forecasted and the margin. And afterwards, of course, everything that leads to productions, because that's what's going on for real. So the turnover, the cost, the margin, and the profitabilities. And I also added a little something extra, which is the global turnover and invoice turnover and paid turnover, because that way I can know that the billing is going smoothly on your side, and I can check that my clients actually pay you, because that's something quite important. And lastly, I can again monitor my resource here. I have indicators linked to the ordered times and the actual clocked times in the systems. Again, always the idea is to check the advancements and what's going on my project. So that's a great view for me. And if I ever forget anything about the indicator, let's say I don't know how the production gross margin is created in Boond, all I have to do is hover above the indicators and I will get the full definition of the indicators. And so that's really helpful to build the board that I needed. But that's it. It's quite easy, right?
You know what, Charlie? I love your reports. Do you want to share your research for me?
Yeah, I can share with you the safe search.
Yeah.
All I have to do is go on it and then find you on the list. And as I said, it will helping you and giving you the filter, but it won't giving you the indicator. So if you need a board like that, I can definitely help you to build your very own with pleasure.
Thank you very much indeed, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Wow, Esther and Charlie, thank you so much. That was the last part. So many interesting things here. So let's have a recap for the project analysis. So here, we used two different views to try and follow up on the project and then see what we can analyze, based on the numbers. First, we entered directly the project module and one of the projects, that we took as an example, and we used two tabs here to have a current state of the project, which was the consumption tab first, let's say, which was mainly used for us to have a look on the order time and the taken time, so to see, the advancements of the project. And then the billing tab here with a bit more information, because we have not only the signs and consume time, but we also have everything about ordered and billed numbers on the project. We also have a global summary of the different states of the billing on that project, and also the billing order with the ordered and billed amounts, so to make sure that we don't overbill on that purchase order. Then we use the reporting module, and here more specifically the project reporting. The advantage here of that view is that we have a much more detailed view and then analysis, because we can choose from many indicators in the list, and then everybody can have his or her own configuration. And also compared to the product module, we can choose the periods that we want to analyze. It could be just 1 quarter, 1 year, 1 month, or a custom period from that precise date to that date. So here, depending on what you want to do, product module, reporting, but in the end, we just get everything that you need. All right. And then finally, it's questions and answers time. So we really hope that you like this webinar, and now we are ready to answer your questions if you have some. Thank you for listening.
Don't forget to use the Q&R icon if you do have any questions.
Yeah.
We actually have two questions, but in chat. It's Anna Maria. And the first questions was on the survey. No worries, Anna Maria. That works. I see them. The question was on survey for the moods. How can we enable it, and can we have a weekly email sent to the resources to complete it? To enable the survey, it needs to be added through the administrations. I don't know if Cyril, you want to walk through maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So you have to have access to the administrations, and then you will be able to go to Apps Marketplace.
Go.
Perfect. And so if it's not yet added, you will be going on Marketplace to add it. On our system, it's already here. So what you have to do is simply set it up. And for that, yes, you can go into settings. And here you will be able to build the questions, so the question types, choose which resource type have access to which questions, because maybe you don't have the same questions for everybody. But the survey is specifically linked to the timesheets. So there is no matter of an email of a reminder to ask people to do it weekly. It's only at the moment attached to the timesheets and to be done once a month when they do the timesheets. And they will have to complete it to be able to validate their timesheets as well. Hope that helps.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
and then we have another question from Ana Maria, which is about the reporting, and so I guess the product reporting. So as admin, the question is, can we connect to like another manager, and can we do their settings in their name? So then will they see that afterwards? Actually, yes. If you decide to log in as another manager, and then if you go to their reporting, if you do their configuration, decide the indicators that you want them to view, then if you save it, then next time they actually log in, when they go to their reporting, they will see the configuration that you've done for them. So yeah, that will work. It doesn't mean that they won't be able to change it afterward, because it's still their account, but you can do that for them if it can be helpful. Yeah.
They can actually save sometimes, I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see if we have any other questions.
It looks like we do we have other questions?
Yeah, somebody actually asked if what they can do to send a reminder to somebody who didn't sign a timesheets, because in post-productions we had some timesheets that weren't signed, so maybe we can show them
Sure.
that it's super easy process to do.
Yep. So if we go back to post-production here, so we can see that on this timesheet, so we are still waiting. So just as a reminder again, if you're wondering what this red little icon here is, if you go back to the bottom of the page, then you have here the legends, and we see that it's for missing signed documents. So here you can actually go to the timesheet directly. Here there is a pending task. Actually here, this document hasn't been sent yet, but we can decide, all right, so we'll use here the client PDF provided by BoondManager. Then you can select some options that you want here, then and download the document directly. You can validate the person which will be receiving the email for validation for the signature. Then you can send it. That will actually trigger the task here. So this time we've got one pending task. And then if Paula here, she's our signer, if she actually doesn't sign these documents, then we can send her a reminder. And then here she actually got another email straight away. So then we won't send any more reminders, because then she can get cross. But that's how you can actually monitor this and send reminder to your people waiting for signature.
She's going to wonder what's happening.
Yeah, why me?
And I think I have also another questions. Let me see. It's about the delivery types. Somebody asking me why it's useful and how to set it up. Why it's useful? It's because it's give you new sets of indicators linked to these types of deliveries. And how to actually create them? It's really easy. Again, you have to have access to the administration, sorry. And this time it will be in global settings. And if I remember well, it would be in opportunities. And at the little bit at the bottoms, then we could have here the delivery type. And that way you can set up the name of the delivery types and what we call the scenarios. So you see everything that is new delivery for a new project become a new business. Everything that use the renewal function is a renewal delivery, and new delivery for an existing project. Per default on our settings right now, it's a backup. And then super easy to use.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions right now?
I don't think so.
People are being shy today. They are not asking a lot of questions. If ever, just for you to know, if ever you don't feel comfortable writing in English, you can still ask question in French. That works. We'll answer in English, but if you want to write in French, feel free, you can do that. We won't, do anything bad about that. We won't get mad.
Maybe we can show how to clock the timesheet in Hour, maybe from.
Sure. Yeah, that's interesting because maybe that some of you do not know this part for the hourly project. Actually, the project that we used, sorry, it's a project which was in hours. There we go. So it was website graphic design. Yeah, because it's in hours, I don't know if you noticed, but when we actually use that project for the construction tab, here we can see that everything is in work unit, so unit of work, sign time, taken time. When we go to the timesheet of our resource here, we can see that times it's in unit of work, so that was 8 because we decided on this project that it was 8 hours or 8 unit of work per day. And I don't know if we have that could be interesting to show you. I just need to hide this because there we go. On the project, if you're curious, here we have an order, so we can actually link our 2 resources to the order to do things properly. And then if we actually generate the invoice for May, here we do see that we have the rate per hour and not per day. And we have the quantity, which is again, not per day, but per hour. So in the end, so here we have that was for Alexander here. So that was 60 euros per hour. He's clocked to 888, 24. So we have a total here. So at the end, obviously, total here will be, a total amount of the invoice. But then the detail of that invoice will be everything per hour. So then, if you've never seen that before, so then you've got the demo until the end. And, because obviously, we also like to, in every webinar, try to advertise what we've done before. If you're wondering how this works, how you can implement that, if you go here to the help button, you will find in the tutorial part tutorial about the hourly project. So everything will be explained. Again, like in this webinar, if you thought that maybe we were a bit fast when we talked about invoicing, for example, we do remind you that recently with Estelle, we did a webinar about invoicing for the complete process. So then what you can do is that you can go back to our YouTube page, like directly on the internet, and you will find all of the webinars, today is included, in maybe tomorrow or in 2 days. So yeah, just feel free to go back there and have a look at what we did before or all of the tutorials that we try to create for you to help you every day with BoondManager. So that was my advertising moment.
You did it well.
Thank you. All right, so I think that we do not have any more questions for now, apparently. So maybe that it's time to end this webinar. What do you think, guys?
Yes.
I think it's a wrap. You're right.
Okay, it's a wrap. So thank you a lot. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Deborah, for your invisible presence. But we love having you here always.
True.
And
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And so have a great day, sorry, everyone, and then see you for the next one.
See you. Bye-bye.
Beautiful day, people. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. See you soon.